I don't think a lot of people realize and understand like a majority of what a lender and a real estate agent have to go through to not only last in this industry for 5+ years. So for me, I've lasted 12 going on 13 years. But the majority of our job has nothing to do with showing pretty homes as a real estate agent or as a lender, locking in a loan and saying, yeah, you're approved. Most of our job day to day is taking on heated phone calls, almost being a psychologist and a therapist, literally talking people through how to just get them qualified or find them the perfect house. Sometimes it takes weeks, if not months. And we're talking two people that are straight commission jobs. So we don't get paid to talk on the phone to people. We don't get paid to shoot videos like this, right? I only get paid, and a real estate agent only gets paid if a deal closes. So when I talk to a customer for multiple months, or a real estate agent shows a customer 30 houses, and then the customer goes, yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy now this year, or I found a cheaper rate, bye. It's absolutely devastating, right? And I'm not sharing all that to say, oh, look at me or poor me. I'm literally just saying the majority of what a lender has to do to go through the beatings and to develop a skin, but still at the end of the day, not get affected or not be driven by the money, but be driven by a deeper passion of why they're still doing it. That's why I'm such a big promoter of lenders and real estate agents that have been doing it 5+ years. You know what that shows and you know what that means? That means they have commitment. That means they actually give a shit. That means they actually found a passion or a why they're still doing it. Anybody can be in a job for a year or two. Oh, look, I got my license. Oh, look, I'm a lender now. Yeah. Okay, now talk to me in 5 years after you've gotten beat up year after year. The majority of stuff I have to go through, whether it's employees quitting or clients leaving me or closings getting blown up or a ton of stress and anxiety because a lot of my files have a bunch of issues because government lending is crazy. A lot of people don't understand the FHA manual for underwriting to know like how to do FHA loans is like over 2,000 pages. That's just one program I offer. And that's not the continuing ed, and that's not all the licensing I went through. That's not all the training, the experience, the mistakes I've made, especially as a real estate agent. After doing a bunch of closings and learning and figuring out what people need and what they want, gosh, I can't say enough for people that are going to be possibly buying a house in the next year. Pick your people based off of their heart, their experience, and if they actually care about what they do. For me, it's not even really about the loans. It's not. Do I even really necessarily truly care about mortgage lending? Not really. To be honest, I don't. But what I do care about is the dream of home ownership and the fact that you can own your own home in America. And when you have your own home, it's such a special experience because it's your house, you go home, you create your memories, and it's kind of like renting something versus owning it. You get a different sense of ownership, passion, and care when that's your roots, that's your home, that's your home now that you can create memories in. It took time, right? Like when I started mortgage lending, it wasn't like right away, oh, this is what I want to do. Literally for the first 5 years, talking about the last 5 years, I wanted to quit every single year in mortgage lending. Ask my parents, ask some of my close friends. I didn't think mortgage was like my career path, right? I graduated college and didn't even know what I was going to do. I was 24. I was like, gosh, what am I going to do? And I fell into mortgage. And then I feel like God put something in me and kept me in the industry. But I didn't know why. I didn't know what yet. But then after I sacrificed, and there was even one year, I think it was 2015, I remember being at the bank I was working at, and it was a crazy time, and our bank went through a bunch of employee issues, and literally we had a bunch of people quit and got laid off. I had over 60 files, and this was back paper files in 2014, 15. They were all lined up all over my desk, and I literally was starting to have a panic attack and didn't know I was. And I was on my way to go coach a wrestling practice, and I drove, instead of into the wrestling room, I drove into the ER. Called my mom crying, and I was like, what am I going to do? And the ER doctor was like, okay, you're not having a heart attack, you're having a panic attack. And I was like, jeez. Then the rest of my life and career, I've always known I've battled anxiety and stress. But, I kind of say all that to say this, is that picking people in the mortgage and real estate industry and getting the right advice, because let's be honest, if you're watching this video and you're interested in buying a home, or you haven't yet and you're very nervous, one of the biggest things a person says is, I'm scared. I don't know how the process goes. I've never done this before. Please help me on what I need to do. Right? That's everybody. Even if it's your second home, okay? You're still scared. You're still nervous. Shit, I've bought in 6, 7 homes, and if I buy another one, I know I'm going to be scared. And I'm in the industry, so of course you're going to be scared. But where does your fear and anxiety come down a little bit? When you know you got the right person behind you, when you got the right coach in your corner, right? It's kind of like, you can bring the analogy to athletes. When you have the right coach and you see that coach passionately coaching on their athletes and their team, and you see the magic happen on the court or on the mat or on the field, it's because they have the right coach. If you want a good mortgage, you need the right coach. If you want to invest in real estate, you need the right coach. Okay? It's not calling just some random realtor. It's not just picking your local bank because you think that's what you need to do. Okay? And the biggest thing that just absolutely just boils my blood is this. People that want to pick their lender based on who's got the cheapest rate. You guys got to stop doing that. Because you want to know how many calls I take a month? I wish I could record them, but I can't due to confidentiality and compliance stuff. But help me. I picked a lender and they're blowing up my closing. They're not calling me back. They changed the fees on me. The lender says I can't do the loan now. The lender's delaying my closing, saying it's underwriting. Oh my gosh, you should hear the amount of people. And guess what a lot of those people did? Can you guess? They shopped for the cheapest rate. When you shop for cheap, you'll usually get cheap. Are you going to shop for the cheapest brain surgeon? Are you going to shop for the cheapest lawyer? Why are you shopping for the cheapest lender or trying to ask realtors to drop their commission? It's mind-blowing. If you want the best, go get the best. And if you don't want the best, then don't reach out for the best and shop them. That's crazy, okay? I say that because the world works in a lot of very, very realistic and basic ways, right? You can always get cheap. You can always get expensive. But if you want an amazing vehicle or you want an amazing experience, you're not going to go book a room at the Four Seasons and ask them for a discount, right? You can shop for a cheap hotel, you're going to get a cheap hotel. That's just how the world works, right? And I just say all that to say, do yourself a favor. You're probably only going to do 1, 2, maybe 3 loans in your life. I don't know many people that do tons of mortgages in their life, right? The majority of people that buy homes buy, I'd say, between 1 to 4 homes in their life. Probably, okay? Say you buy a home in your 20s or your 30s and then 1 more at the end, okay? That's kind of what the normal, human longevity of buying homes. So if you're only going to do a couple in your whole life, pick good people and pick the right people, right?